Hi, you're watching the VMSports Cast for the games of Week 0. I'm Armando Garza.
And I'm Eladio Jaimes.
We're going to talk about some of the games of the week with the season kicking off this year. We'll start with our game of the week. We got Los Fresnos at Harlingen. Eladio, what should we expect there, man?
You should expect a good game. You know, Harlingen went into Los Fresnos last year and pretty much had their rear end handed to them. You know, yeah, that was a young Harlingen team going up against a very experienced Los Fresnos team. Mm-hmm. Los Fresnos had Jeremy Springer, who was making his first varsity start at the time, but we all know what he turned out to be like at the end of the season. And he showed signs of that greatness that first game. He passed for over 200 yards. He pretty much beat Harlingen by himself. What didn't help Harlingen was that they were very young at the time. You know, they had good players, quarterback John Murphy, running back Ted Snavely, but that Los Fresnos defense, led by Jeremy's twin brother Justin, was just as talented and just as tough as the offense. So Harlingen really didn't stand a chance. You know, Harlingen's got a little bit of revenge on their mind this year. They come back with those same players that got beat last year, and they're thinking, you know, revenge maybe. You know, and they've got a year under their belts. Ryan Coit's back at quarterback. He's penciled in as a starter, and he's really looking forward to the season. I talked to him earlier today, and you know he just appreciates being able to play football so much because last year he got hurt during the scrimmage. That he's ready to get out there.
His shoulder, right?
Collarbone, separated collarbone at a McAllen scrimmage. He's just so ready to get out there and prove that he can be the next great Cardinal quarterback. You know, he talked about how he's following in the footsteps of Robert Sanchez and Albert Gonzalez, and he wants to be that next guy who leads the charge at Harlingen. And I think Harlingen has the talent this year. They're at home. They got the home field advantage. To where they can pull this one off, but Los Fresnos ain't going to be a cakewalk either, you know. A lot of people think, well, Los Fresnos lost the Springer brothers, they lost receiver Asaya Rivera, they lost Pablo de Goya, the kicker, you know. It's a host of names that come up when you talk about key guys that they've lost. But, yeah, they have two linemen, two D1 prospects, and Mario Benavides and Eloy Atkinson, who pretty much are the anchors to that offense. You know, then you got Jorge Mata, the receiver, and at quarterback they have Danny Silva, an inexperienced quarterback, similar to Jeremy Springer, except Jeremy had a couple more years on varsity than Danny did. But you know what? I talked to Danny. He's a quiet guy, and what caught my eye more about Danny wasn't so much what he said or what he did, but what his teammates said about him. You know, Mario Benavides didn't hesitate to say how much they have trust in Danny. You know, they go, he's a rookie, he doesn't have experience as a starter, but he's our quarterback, he's our leader. We've seen him play, we've seen what he can do, and you know, we trust him. And a lot of people might not think that Los Fresnos has the talent this year to compete, but I think they're going to give Harlingen a good game.
Well, let's go to the picks. Eladio, who do you have winning in this one?
Well, I'm going to go with Harlingen simply because I think that they're at home, and that revenge factor. You know, Harlingen's got a lot of tradition. I remember last year after the game, I talked to some of the coaches. You know, I talked to Coach Creeders, and I talked to some of the other coaches after the game, and they look dejected, man. You know, Harlingen's not used to losing that bad. You know, Harlingen's not used to getting beat like that on a regular basis, like they almost did at the beginning of last season. I think this year, that alone, just like Ryan Coit's motivated to come back and have a great season due to his injury, I think the Cardinals, as a team, are motivated to come back and show that the Cardinals of last year aren't your normal. That's not your average Cardinal team. That's not what the people have become used to. That's not what they're used to. They're going to come out and pull off that win. Who do you take in the game?
I'm going to go with Los Fresnos in a somewhat upset here. The Cardinals, I do expect them to take care of business. I just feel that, you know, Los Fresnos gets up for this game. You know, this goes back a couple of years with the whole headline stuff and all that stuff. They love playing Harlingen.
Yeah.
And I think they, you know, if everything comes together, they can pull it out.
I think the headline was Lost Fresnos, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, we another of our big games doesn't even take place in the Valley this week. It's up in the Corpus area, and that's San Benito at Cal Allen. You know, Cal Allen's for years been a Valley foe, you know, if you want to call it that. They've just been Valley beaters. You know, nobody beats them. I think Harlingen's been the only team to have beat them before. But San Benito, you know, goes up there. They're also in rebuilding stage. Mondo, tell us more about the game. You know, what you expect out of this match?
I think that if this Coastal Bend Cal Allen curse is going to end, it's going to be this year. They only bring back 3 starters back on offense. You know, not to say they won't reload because they always do. But I think San Benito's catching them at a perfect time, the first game of the year, where they're gonna have a big crowd. A lot of San Benito fans are gonna go up there. I just think they have enough firepower to pull it off. Abel Aguirre looked good in the scrimmage against South. As far as them pulling it off, I think this has to be the best chance they have. I talked to Coach Peña. He said, they've seen some different things on film, but they know what to expect from Cal Allen. And last year, even though it was 28-7, the final score, it was a lot closer than that. The Hounds had them at the half. They had them at 65 yards of offense. So they know how to slow them down. They know what it is to play a big team like Cal Allen. And I think this is the year they're going to do it.
What do you know about Cal Allen? Have you looked into them?
Based on what I've heard, I'm going to be talking to Coach Danaher, but they only have 3 starters back, and they're looking for a quarterback. There's one of 4 guys battling for the quarterback spot, so we don't even know who that's going to be yet. And on defense, they do have a couple of guys back to anchor that, including their linebacker, who's one of the quarterback candidates. So, it's not your usual loaded Cal Allen team. But you got to be wary of them nonetheless. So, even
a down Cal Allen team is a good Cal Allen team on any given year.
Exactly.
So who do you pick?
I'm gonna go with San Benito this year. I think, like I said, if there's any time they're gonna do it, it's gonna be this year. They got, they're confident. They know they can go up there. They know they can play with the big boys, and I think they're gonna pull it off this year. How about you?
Well, I know everybody's gonna think I'm going to pick against San Benito, but I'm going to surprise everybody and say I'm going with San Benito too. Like you said, San Benito's defense showed up last year, and they handled a good Cal Allen team, and the way you talk about how Cal Allen might be in rebuilding mode right now, and especially on offense, they don't even have a quarterback inked as a starter yet. I think that like I was talking about Harlingen playing with pride, San Benito plays with a lot of pride, especially on defense. And they're going to want to go up there and prove also that, it's about time somebody from the Valley beats Cal Allen. And I think this is the week that they're going to do it as well.